Yeah. What's up, world? It's your boy Brian, Big Mike in the house. This is second take. How we doing today, Mike? What's up?
You know what, BC? I was actually having a really good day today, man. But
Uh huh.
school shootings, dude. Another one
Oh
in
yeah,
Nashville and Antioch. Now, this hits home, BC.
yeah. It does.
It's
I know exactly where that school's at. I knew kids that went to Antioch.
really,
Yeah,
my auntie, she's been living out there, man, since we was young kids, man. And it's just like you just keep asking yourself, like, why? Like, we live in a day and time now where it's like, hey, baby, speaking about my little girl, come on, give daddy a kiss before you go to work. You just don't know what's going on, and you don't know what's going on in these kids' mind. So, BC, what really happened in Nashville today? Just a little bit of it.
man. From the reports, it was like a 17-year-old male. He shot during in the lunchroom and killed a young female. But the way I'm looking, and then he turned the gun on himself. But the way I'm looking at it, though, Mike, man, it seemed like that it wasn't like a mass shooting that we usually see, where it's a person that is going in from the way the reports are looking. There are
Yes.
persons going into a school and trying to kill about 15 to 20 people, however many you can kill. It doesn't seem that way in this one. We haven't got any more reports on it, but it seemed like that maybe he was going after this young, but I don't know. It,
So, see, so
it's not like a mass shooting that we have seen from before.
like they had a reason. They was actually out to get more than one kid. It's so the incident went down inside the cafeteria.
Yeah,
And
that's what the report is saying.
of course, unfortunately, prayers go out to the family of the young lady who was killed. She was killed.
Yeah,
And then there was also two more. One was actually shot, but they was actually taken to the hospital and released. And another one got hurt due to falling over and I think getting stepped on. And of course, sad for the family of the young man who took his life too as well.
yeah.
You know, it's so much going on with these young kids today, man. At times you don't really know what they're really going through, and they're going through so much, and this is a horrible situation for a lot of families tonight.
Yeah, my thing is, Mike, man, I always thought that school was like had security and everything. How he get a gun in there?
So I don't know how he got a gun in there, BC, but I know that it said that they had two officers that was
Yeah,
on that was at the school or
but they
whatever,
wasn't in
but
the cafeteria.
they wasn't neither one of them was in the cafeteria, and by the time they got there, everything had already taken place, and of course the gunman had already taken his own life. So I mean, it's just a sad situation for everyone involved, and hearts and prayers will go out to the school. I mean, because look, the shooting was today, but the pain is just beginning, and not just for the victims or for the shooter's family, but for everyone that had to witness it. You think about the school cafeteria and you realize that that's where everybody's at during this time is during lunch. And there's no telling how many kids. I think the school from what I read, it had like 2,000 students in the 2,000 students at the school. So you have to imagine it could be anywhere from 300 to about 400 kids just in the cafeteria at that one time.
See, here's my that's why I think it was maybe he wasn't going to try to shoot a lot of people because he he could have easily killed more,
Yeah.
and then he turned the gun on himself. I don't know if when the security guards got there he did that, but he could have easily killed more than what he did.
You know,
So so that's
yeah.
why I'm kind of thinking that he wasn't going there to kill multiple students or people.
How do we stop this problem, BC?
Man,
Or is more when we grow up, BC, let's be real. The last thing on our mind was taking a gun to school. Last thing on our mind was having to go to school and go through metal detectors and can we check your bags periodically? When we was in school, it's a different time.
well,
Now kids are just showing up to school with anything.
when we was in school, Mike, kids killed themselves,
Yeah.
or if they was getting bullied, they they either shot at the bully or got at the bully. They didn't kill innocent people. But when
Exactly.
we was in school, kids was killing themselves.
Yeah, which is sad too.
Yeah, which is sad, but that's better than innocent lives being, I don't want
Absolutely.
nobody to kill themselves, but when it comes to 15, 16, 20 kids that lost their lives for nothing,
Yeah,
I'd rather for a kid to shoot himself, but I'd rather for, it won't that don't happen at all. Don't get me wrong.
absolutely.
But that's what was happening when we was in school.
Yeah,
And then when
I agree with
Columbine
that.
took off, everybody else is copycat.
It's you're right, man, and I agree with you 1,000%, bro. It seemed like after Columbine, it become the norm. You know,
Yeah,
I think, and I don't want to speak for everybody, but I wonder because it happens too one time is too many. Let me just put that out there. But it seems like now it happens so much that it's desensitized now.
it is.
People hurt, they groove, and then the next day they move on because the next day it could be another one.
Yeah, it
So
is.
and that's I think that's the sad part of the situation right there is just because of that. And it's just a extremely unfortunate situation. And if you got kids, you never know. You should go hug them because you never know what somebody else's actions is going to be, their intentions are that next day at school. So, hats off to the school. I know they're going to try to take care of the kids the best they can, but I mean, this is when the pain starts as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it is sad your kid go to school and you don't see them no more.
Yeah, you
So
like
yeah, it's sad.
sad situation, man. It really is. So if hug your kids, hug your families, man. Life is short, and you just don't. You can be as careful as you want to be,
Yeah,
but you don't know what somebody else's intentions are out there,
right.
and they carrying out some crazy things these days, and that's sad. So man, hats off to that. To everyone involved in that situation, and I hope and pray for peace and healing for everyone that was involved. So yeah.
Yeah, Nashville, prayers goes up.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
Nashville. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Uh,
Big Mike. I don't know if you saw. I think it was yesterday, but Elon Musk, man, he was speaking,
yeah,
and I don't know. I want to get your thoughts. And I know how this goes. He was speaking,
yeah.
and it was like he gave like a Nazi sign, a Nazi wave.
Okay.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah,
The Hitler thing.
absolutely.
Did you see that?
When I look at it, I ain't gonna lie to you, BC. When I first looked at it, I was like, man, what's going on? So I wasn't able to play the video. So if you've seen the video, it is pretty. I don't want to use the word extreme, but the way that he act, the strength and stuff that he did it, um, it's really something else when
Do
you
you?
when you go back and watch the
This
video.
is my thing.
Yeah.
The more I have watched the video, Elon Musk is one of the richest man in the world.
Yes.
It seemed like he's a quirky guy a little bit, kind of quirky, very smart, intelligent. But do you think that it was honestly like boom, boom, boom? He's showing I'm Nazi. I'm representing Nazi. Do you think that a guy with that much credibility, businesses, do you think that's actually was his intentions, or is it just the media?
Well, when you first spoke to me about this, the first thing I thought about was wow, because I'm a guy that really loves history. Well, I really like history and I really like war. So I spent a lot of time watching World War II and all the wars and like stuff like that. So when you see that, it's ingrained into your head because I've seen so many I've seen and stuff based around the documentaries of that. So, when I see that, but then you sent me another picture. Let me see if I can get this up right fast. You sent me another picture, and I wonder, was it a big deal when these guys did it? Let me put this up here. So these guys did it, you didn't really hear anything from the media. From the media. Uh, Nothing was said. It was always waving or whatever.
Well, I remember Mike. They was calling Obama like Hitler. They was
Because he
calling
did
Obama.
this.
They was calling Obama Hitler, the Antichrist, everything.
Because of this.
Well, with that, and they had like cartoon pictures of him with a Nazi suit on and all that stuff, and then Hillary. So it's kind of like I feel the media is blowing, and the media always blows things out of proportion. You
Okay.
got CNN, which represents the Democrat Party. You got Fox, you got which represents the Republican Party. Then
Yeah.
you got CNBC and all the other networks. It's a media thing, man. To me. Now, I could be wrong, but it felt like when Elon Musk was doing that stuff and when Obama and everybody else is doing that stuff, they're not doing it to say, hey, I represent Nazis.
I was trying to look it up just to maybe see the history if that was a regular format, like a regular routine wave or whatever. I think the thing that might have got me about the Elon Musk is that it just looked like he did it so powerful and so passionately that it wasn't just maybe like a seldom, like, let me just wave or whatever. It looked like maybe, it was something kind of off the wall. But I didn't, when the other people wave like that, I didn't hear anything about it. So is it so I do ask that question. Is it a media blowing it up, or is the narrative because of who he supports and the let's see, and the narrative of who he supports, does that all fit in line? And is that something else for somebody to connect and say, look, you see, we was right about the narrative?
Well, it's like the thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump was never a racist until he ran for president.
Are you sure?
He was that. What have you heard Donald Trump? When you heard Donald Trump, you heard him in a rap song, or you seen him at fights, boxing, or you seen Steve Harvey hosting his Miss America pageants or whatever, or you seen him saying somebody's fired on his show. Remember the show he used to have?
Yeah.
I never heard him being a racist until he ran for president.
Well,
I don't know if
what?
that was the narrative of at first he's a womanizer, and then it was the other stuff, and then all of a sudden it came to a point where okay, he's racist. And I never knew of Donald Trump being racist in my life. Have you?
And I mean, this is touchy, BC.
I'm just saying,
This is
I heard of Trump. I knew Donald Trump, but I never known anybody said that Donald Trump was a racist
well,
until he
well,
became
when you
president
run,
or
when you run for
when
the
he
high,
started running for president.
you
Which
when you
I
run
know
for the
both
high.
sides do that. I knew they said Obama, he wasn't American, and every white president has always been at least racist because they want to distort the black votes. So
That's my only regret when I was younger, is not getting more involved in, not necessarily wanting to run for any kind of office, but maybe just understanding it more when I was younger. But I mean, this is just one of those things that the media is going to take and run with, and depends on which narrative you which narrative you want to go for. Then
right,
I guess that's how that's which way you lean to saying whether it was for Hillary Clinton that we saw, whether it was for Obama or Harris, or even for Elon. Which which what fits your narrative,
yeah,
and whatever that is, then that's the way that you're going to go. So one thing I want people to understand about the show: this show is all about conversation. This show is all about, we're here talking, but that doesn't make us necessarily right. So we love input. So if you have thoughts or input on it, please don't hesitate to let us know. Leave your comments down below. We're just here, and we're just sparking conversations, and that's why it's called Second Take. for us to just kind of give our thoughts about what's going on as well too. Like I said, I think this is something that definitely the media will take and run with, and whatever way you go, that's how you allow it to fit your narrative.
Especially in politics. Politics is a dirty world, man.
Yeah,
Kamala Harris, same color as me, man, and they was, you know, trying to say that she wasn't black,
yeah.
which she never identified as black, but
Until
it's, it's to assassinate a person's character as much as you can, even if you're going into the Supreme Court.
yep. Oh yeah, that
It's to
and
assassinate your character.
that's why, one thing about running for office and stuff like that, like you gotta be prepared for people to look up under your fingernails.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't have the skin for that or whatever, then maybe politics is not for you. And some people need to get out of politics. But it's it's a cold world out there, and especially at times you don't fully know who to trust and who not to trust, even though people are going to tell you that we're going to do this and we're going to do that. At the end of the day, are they really, or is that just a lot of lip service to get it in? So they're going to use a lot of lip service even for these pictures to kind of fit their agenda and whatever way that they want it to go as well.
So it's kind of like the question, Elon Musk, you do that?
Well, he did it. Hey, yeah, he did it, and he did it twice, and did it like it was hard to like. He hit his chest so hard it made my chest hurt, and the media's running with it because it's all over the news.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. I mean, he's extremely associated with Mr. President, and take it for what it is. That's it. So yeah, BC, that was hard. That was hard. You got me feeling uncomfortable.
Is that a tough one?
You got me.
It's going to get tougher.
He said it's gonna get
It's
tougher.
going to get tougher. That's elementary. It's going to get
Oh
tough.
well, I quit.
But it's not me. It's
Yeah.
not me that's making it tough.
Exactly.
It's the world out there. We just going to talk about it.
Oh, look,
That's what we do is say,
you know what I'm saying? We're couch reporters.
yeah,
That's really what we are
give the
as
people
well
what they
too.
want.
Yeah. You know who else is a couch potato?
The couch potato, man.
Adult kids.
What?
Adult kids is couch potatoes.
Really?
My question for you, BC, is this: talking about adult kids. I read something, first of all. 52% of parents allow their kids to come back home as adults and live.
Ooh.
I'm a
Now-
statistic, BC. I'm a
Now, like,
statistic.
what's the age? Like, are you saying?
I think it was
21, or
19
you
to
saying
29. I think it
40,
was.
45.
Yeah. No, 19 to 29, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So let me see if I still have that up. Yes, 18 to 29, man. That's 11. That's an 11-year gap, man. I don't know what's going on.
I remember when I was like 21, 22-ish. I went back home for about 5 months. But I had mom and dad gave me a deadline. I know everybody in my family, think I was spoiled, but they
Yeah.
gave me a deadline. Said, "Here's that you need a." But I didn't want to. It was just things didn't work out between me and another. So
Yeah.
I went back home and the doors was always open, but it's not to go back home and you camp out, stay here. You don't
And
you're
get
not
comfortable.
back to live here. You just
Exactly.
coming back to get right. Then it was, I was gone again. So I didn't want to. I moved out at 17. I didn't want to, stay, under my mom and dad. It just
Yeah.
wasn't my thing, and they didn't raise
BC,
me.
was you ready to get out of Harristown, bro?
Huh?
You was ready to get out of Harristown?
Well, not really Harristown at the particular time. I love
Yeah.
Harristown.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it
Oh,
was- but my mom and dad let me know, at 18, you can't stay here.
yeah. You got to go. But
Yeah, I
so
bought my
I
first
guess
house
so.
at 19, so
I guess my real question is adult kids' problems our problems? Why is it that we feel like as parents we got to take on their problems?
well, in today's time, it's more parents that are friends with their kids than parents. My mom and
Yeah.
dad was never friends with me. You hear all the time that kids they say my mother is my best friend or this and no, no, it wasn't like that. My mom and daddy, I wasn't their friend. They were my parents and I was their son.
But
So,
BC,
but
BC,
but we,
BC,
huh?
boy, they
Yeah,
had you spoiled though.
that,
They had you spoiled though, BC.
when you spoil something, it dies. I didn't never die.
Well, you didn't die, bro. But hey, the
They
neighborhood knew.
they took care of me.
Where's Brian at? Where's
They
Brian at?
they took care
Where's
of me,
Brian
man.
at?
They took care of me to a point, but you know just as well as I do, it wasn't no nonsense going on.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
but in
that
this day and time, more parents are friends with their kids than being parents.
okay.
And then you have a lot of kids growing up in single parent homes, so it's kind of a competition. Kids know how to manipulate their parents when they were 2 years old.
Well, absolutely. They start
So,
early.
so it's a lot of competition. So nobody really wants to be the parent, the bad parent,
Yeah.
especially when it's a single parent home, and sometimes inside a home where both parents are there. So hey man, my son's problem is not my problem. He's 24 years old,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna be there and give him the best advice and do all I can to help him when it's needed.
But
I
how do
can't
you?
just help him when he's doing stuff that it's doing stupid things.
Yeah, I got
Stupid
you.
things means you know better, but you do it anyway. Ignorant is you don't know no better.
Yeah.
We all ignorant at some point.
But we gonna hey, but after that, we gonna get you right so you do know. And the next
Yeah,
time we got a problem.
yeah. So
How many times do you keep letting them come home? If they gotta come home and then they leave because they hard headed, but then they come back and then they leave again and then they hard headed. They don't do what what you tried to help them do. And then they got to come back again. Are you going to continue to open doors to them, or you go just let them be out on the street?
what's the reason?
Just stupid stuff. They want to do their own. They know it all.
Well, I know a lot of people slept on the couch because the mom and dad didn't let them come home, and you do too.
Absolutely.
Until they got right. Because
Yeah,
if you, to me, you're never going to get right if you always can go back home. It's
because you got
almost
that
like
safe.
being the crutch.
Because you got that safety net.
You got that safety net. Well, boom, 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 boom. They gonna let me in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe it's something that maybe grabs a hold to your emotions, and that maternal. I don't want my son, I don't want my daughter to be out on the street, but I know what I'm doing is a hindrance, and I'm handicapping them. But a lot of parents, they keep doing it though. I'm gonna open the door for you again, but I don't. Then you start setting down all these rules, and it's like it becomes a tough situation sometimes. I
Yep.
guess if you allow it to.
Well, my son, he didn't want to come back live with. He didn't like living with us because you gotta go by the rule.
Absolutely, they don't like that.
So
It's tough, man.
yeah, you don't want your kids out on the street, but at the same time, it's just like I got whoopings, you got whoopings.
Yeah,
Kids don't get whoopings like that. They don't even get paddlings in school.
nothing.
So
And people don't allow you to discipline your kids, because if you do, oh, you got to go to jail now, because we see a little mark on your child, so we're gonna take them away from you, and you're gonna go to jail. And so, to me, I think a lot of people are look, I'm one of them. I don't ever want to go to jail, bro. I ain't built like that.
well, it was people trying to do that back in 1982, 83. Man, I
Yeah,
remember being at Walmart and I wanted a toy, Mike. And my mama,
yeah,
rest in heaven. I wanted a toy, and she said no. She said no. Wait till this Friday. I remember like it was yesterday. And I started crying. Went off. Man, my mama got me and whooped me right there at Walmart, dragged me out of the store. And I remember this white lady came up, said, I'm gonna call the she said she was gonna call somebody. It was something back then what you know, if you abuse your parents, I forgot what it
Yeah.
was called. My mama looked at her and said, call him. And then call the police because I'm getting ready to whoop yo right there at Walmart. I never forget it, man. I remember back in the day, I saw a lot of kids get whoopings at Walmart.
Yeah.
So it was people back then that was pushing, don't whoop your kids, don't do that. That's just a demonic agenda that's been going on for years.
Yeah.
And they took paladins out of school, and now you see that kids do not respect authority. When people get pulled over by the police,
Yeah.
and after they done a crime, they like, you can't take me to jail. But that's what's going on in school. If you don't, you're a principal and you don't have a Martin Luther King speech to these
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
you ain't doing nothing. Because you can't paddle them, you can't
Can't do
discipline, you
nothing.
can't do nothing.
Nope. You can't. I wonder how many people sitting in prison right now wish their parents had the ability to be more to have more discipline over their life,
A whole
and they
lot.
probably wouldn't be there today.
A whole lot.
Probably a whole lot, bro. Probably a whole lot, man. And but it's one of them situations, man, where maybe it comes down to a case by case basis. I don't know, but it can be kind of tough when you start dealing with the emotions and you don't want your child to be homeless, and I'm just like the heck, man. I don't know how to deal with it sometimes.
Well, it's hard. Being a parent's one of the hardest things, man. That's like my son always thought, and that's the same way I was with my parents. It was times where I didn't like my parents, but I wasn't going to do nothing to them. It was just time. But my son, he thought I was so hard on him, and now he has kids, and he's 24, and he tells me, Dad, I see what you was talking about. Because when you have kids and you love your kids, you see.
Yeah,
The same way when I had kids, I seen that my mom and dad, I'm glad and thankful they were the way they were towards me.
absolutely.
They was real parents in my eyes. And, the Bible talks about parenting. It's one of the hardest things. And I always used to, when my daddy whooped me with a belt, Mike,
Oh, it
and he
hurt.
would say that, you probably heard this. It hurts me worse than it hurts you.
Yeah, for
And
real.
I'm like, but when I first whooped my son, I understood exactly what he was talking about.
It's like you had to freeze in between the swing and be like, "Whoa!"
Man,
I
it,
like,
but if you don't spank your kids, discipline your kids, that's really child abuse. You don't whoop your kids, spank your kids, that's child abuse.
and if you don't, then the state will do it for you.
Cause that's not a good life that's coming up, and you see all these what's going on in the world. Young
Yeah,
kids, man, they don't respect authority. They don't understand authority, and it's not their fault. It's always the previous generation. Always.
absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. I do. I guess. I guess just make sure that your adult kids, just understand how to, what the rules and regulations are, or whatever. And you're not gonna just come back here and just lay around. You're gonna come back here. We're gonna, as you said, that your parents did. You come in here today. This is when you got to be out. So whatever you got to do to get back on your feet between now and then, you need to make it happen, because after this date, you're gone. And I wonder how many parents make that date, but then don't follow through with it because they become the kids' friends or whatever. It's just not good.
Because at 16, I knew the deadline was when I graduated.
I left home. I left home 21 days after I graduated. I was gone. So I didn't even get to enjoy the summer. I was already standing in formation, being screamed at by somebody that wasn't my parents. But you know what though? That taught me, because I was ready. I was ready for, my dad was hard, bro. And when he did come back into our life or whatever, but mom, she did the best she could, having 4 boys or whatever. But my dad still had that military mentality. So when I got to boot camp, I didn't necessarily like being yelled at like that, but I understood. You know what I'm saying? So it made the process a little bit easier for me as well. That's because of me being able to have that type of discipline before I left to go. But I know if mom watches it, she's gonna be like, "Well, what about me? I raised you for a long time." Yes, mom, you raised me, and you did a good job as well too. But dad had that iron fist.
Yeah, that's what. That's why it's important to have a mom and a dad, man.
Yeah,
Because it's totally different having a son and a girl. You know this because it's things that I don't interfere with. Cause a mama takes care of it.
yeah,
Then it's things that I can take care of. But then when with our son, it was things that I took care of more than what my wife would.
yeah.
So that's why it's like a balance.
I
It's
got you.
things that I have to say. I have to say because that's why it's so essential to have a mom and a dad there in the home.
It makes a
And
big difference,
statistics
man.
show,
Yeah, it makes a big difference,
and
and
raising your kids up in church. Statistics show.
it makes a big difference, man. It really does. And if you're a dual parent out there, make sure you guys are working as a team. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are not letting the kids split you. Me and my wife, we made a pact that the kids, they all have to leave home one day, and it's me and you. So we made a pact that our kids won't um, that they won't get in the way of our relationship just because of how they act. We would stay united,
Yeah.
a united front. And because of that, 26 years has been really, really good for us. So
And it also, you got to stay on the same page because, like I said, kids will manipulate you, man. It
they
was
will
always.
absolutely.
I remember, I I would ask mama something, and she'll say, "What your daddy say?"
Yep.
Or I asked daddy something, and he said, "What your mama say?"
Well,
They
your
was on
mama
the
said
same page.
absolutely.
I couldn't
Yeah,
do no manipulate one or other. They was on the same page.
absolutely.
And it
And
has to be that way. It
it
can't
does.
be like if you have it this way and then the mother is letting the stuff go and you don't know about it. That
Yeah,
is the worst. That's the recipe for disaster with kids.
that is, man. That is, and it's no telling how many families are broke up because of that. I mean, that can even be the same way with adult kids. You might have one parent that's like, "Yeah, I don't want them to be," and usually, this is definitely nothing against mothers or nothing like that, but mothers are more nourishing than women are more nourishing than men are in a sense. So usually, it's a situation where if you got an adult kid coming home, it's usually the mother like, "Well, I can't have my kid out there homeless, or I can't have him on the street," and then but the dad is like, "So we gave him an opportunity. They didn't get it right."
Hey,
So
I know some tough mamas out there, Mike.
well, absolutely. Now, and
I know some
like I
tough
said, is
mamas out there like
is
you. You get one chance, that's it.
that's it. So just a disclaimer that definitely is not saying that
Right.
women don't lay the hammer down and that women don't stick to what they're going to do. And and there's women out there who's tougher than the men are, especially when it comes when you got a daughter that needs to come back home, and now you got to now she's daddy's little girl, and mom was like, freak that, she ain't coming home.
Yeah.
So
And my
it's
mama
tricky
was
out there.
and my mama was soft. So
Yeah.
and Mike, it's always the situation. It boils down to why you coming back home. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing, Mike. If you tell your kids, come on back home, we got you, versus you back what you want to do what? That's two totally different things.
Yeah.
Because when you say, "Hey, come back, stay here for a little bit," it's something that they didn't do, or it's a crisis, or maybe a female is going through something with her husband or something.
Yes.
But when it's boom, 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 yeah, what is? Hey, can I move back? It's usually that you did something stupid.
Yeah, probably so. Yep, absolutely. You sure did.
You did
So
something stupid.
it's but I think at the end of the day, I think if it's going to be one of those things where adult child has to come back home, I hope that if both parents are available and living together and everything, I hope that they definitely, as a couple, as a relationship, you know, pray about it, talk about it, and get on the same page, and definitely have a sit down with that adult kid and let them know this gonna be one, it's gonna be A, B, and C, period. And then on D, you gotta be out. And you gotta stick to that as well. So, that's just one of those situations where it's definitely case by case basis. But overall, I think you definitely, no matter who you are, you definitely as a couple, you need to stay on the same page and be speaking the same language when it comes to this.
That's a must.
Yeah, it's a
And
must. So
world, what y'all think? Let us know. Y'all give a second take. Let us know what y'all think.
have you ever had the situation or known someone that kept letting an adult child come back and leave, or maybe yourself, and maybe you didn't know how to get out of it, or how did you get out of it? Let us know in the comments. We'd definitely love to see that as well too. And hey, if you haven't already, please, here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure that you hit the like button. It goes a long way. Second Take is here to stay, and we are definitely, as Bryant said earlier, the conversations are going to get rougher. It's going to get harder. So I probably won't show up for that episode.
Man, go and get deep.
It's going to get deep. So you got any closing words, BC?
Man, just prayers for Nashville, and just love to hear what y'all think about, should Elon Musk do that?
Yeah. Should he do it?
And also, just prayers, go out for Nashville. That's at
Absolutely.
his home.
That hits home
That's
for
the
sure.
city I spent, you know, 17 years in that city, me and my family. So
Yeah.
any school shooting, and also, the LA fires, it seemed like they haven't got control of that yet. So
Yeah, that's a bad situation, BC. Absolutely. So prayers out to those guys. And a fire doesn't discriminate. It don't care how much money you got. It don't care what you got. If it's coming through, it's coming through. So definitely prayers out to
and
everyone,
also
no matter
people
if you
that are
had it.
homeless, and it's because it's been cold out there. It was -5 today
Wow,
here. So
it's a
yeah.
serious thing, man. Absolutely, and,
So
and,
yeah,
it's
the
going
people
on.
out
So
there that's homeless, and I hope you able to get in somewhere. So
prayer, absolutely, prayer is the answer, and just don't never forget that. So, and also, if you guys have any topics that you guys might want to have some fun and cover, please let us know in the comments down as well too. Just about anything, just about nothing is off limits per se. But we are going to keep the show family friendly or whatever. But it's going to be some tough conversations out there that we're going to have about some topics and everything. And if it's one of those topics, then we'll definitely let you guys know that you might not want the kids in the room or whatever. But overall, everything is going to be family friendly, and we're going to have fun with it as well too. So BC, amen. Good chat today. Good hanging out. This is second to none. We're new out here. We're just getting started. So all the support that you guys can give us, we definitely would appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Mike. That's my co-host, Bryant Carter, better known to Frankville, DC. And we see you next time. Second Take. And we're and we're out. We're out. There you go.